welcome back into Delphine's Handcraft, and I'm Deborah.
I'm Jasmine.
And we are here for another podcast. We are first going to mention the goals we had for this podcast, of which mine was to finish the poncho that I was making, and finish the Lenny Kravitz shawl, and work on the cottage core blanket. And what were your goals for this podcast?
Finish Josh's socks.
Which were for his birthday.
Yep. Which has already passed, so he has already been given them.
So we don't have those to show. But
Nope.
That means she got that finished. Alright, so let's talk about the finished objects that we do have. Would you like to start? Or?
You can go first.
Okay. So first I was making ponchos for my granddaughters, and I think I just had part of one finished last time. Most of one finished last time. They are for Christmas, which is very soon. So, I did get both ponchos done. I'm not sure how I feel about them. I like them better than when they first started, but this is my older granddaughter's poncho, and we got a mini one for the baby. It's not so mini, but it's a poncho. Both of them have a hood that is a unicorn hood. Their mother asked me to make it a unicorn hood, so I made little curly cues for the hair, and made a horn, and put some ears on it. The only difference between these two, other than there's some more rows of some of the colors here since this one's bigger, is I put pom-poms on the bottom of this one. That's what the pattern asked for. And this one I did not, because I'm a little concerned about the baby having pom-poms to munch on, so I just sort of left it the way it is. As it is, they're going to have to tie a bow and make sure that that string is not dangerous for the baby. But so the little baby one also has the ears and the hair going on. So we have two unicorn hooded ponchos. If you remember, I was using up yarn that we had gotten on clearance. I didn't want to go out and buy extra yarn. So this is just the color palette that it ended up being, since I had these kind of colors for, I think they were DK weight, like baby yarns. So that's...
Was it called like Baby Delight or something?
Yes, it was the Baby Delight that we got.
From Loops and Thread?
From Loops and Thread, yeah, that we got at Michael's for...
It was on clearance.
Yeah,
For like $2 or $3, I think.
$2 or $3 a piece. Alright, what's your first set of finished objects, or first finished object?
Okay. Well, I did finish, like we had already said, I did finish my brother's socks for his birthday, but because some stuff happened, so we didn't get a chance to film a video, I did not get to show them before giving them to him, and I meant to take a picture before giving them to him, but I forgot, so I don't even have a picture. But I did finish a pillow that I had been working on for my grandmother's Christmas present, which hopefully is showing well, because we have yet to fix the brightness issue on the camera. So.
And then the back you just made.
It's just like garter stitch, because I didn't feel like making.
Yeah, I think it turned out really nice.
I also made, I was going back and forth between, sewing on a zipper or making buttons or just, making ties on the side, because originally I wanted the pillow to be sewn into it, but I was like, I'm not giving my grandmother a pillow with a wool cover on it that she can't put in the washing machine. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the sides, but I didn't feel like doing a zipper, and I didn't want to do buttons, so I just made ties.
Which I think she'll appreciate, just being able to take it out and wash it. Absolutely. So the next thing I finished, and I'll just say right now, I did not finish my Lenny Kravitz shawl. It is...
Did you work on it?
No, I did not touch it. We've had things going on that took priority, that were much more important than any crocheting or knitting that we had to, well, we're still trying to take care of. So that wasn't my priority. I was really trying to get some quick Christmas presents done that I didn't have a lot of time to do anything. Honestly, they're still not done. But I did finish the scarf to match Jasmine's hat, the same stitch,
Which I do have that
moss
here.
stitch that she had shown last time, for my sister that lives in Oklahoma.
This hat.
So we will be sending her this to match. So I did knit that up and get that finished up since our last podcast. It's very soft.
I brought it to show because I wasn't sure if I had showed it yet. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, you did. All right, what's next on your...
I have two technically, but they're the same thing, just in different colors, so I'm just gonna show them both together. I made 2 Oslo hats from Petite Knit for my brothers for Christmas, because I told them that they're going to get their sweaters after Christmas. So I made this Oslo hat and this hat for...
And they're for Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you want to call this. I call it an extra piece of yarn. I made, basically it's a cowl, but my son said he would wear something like this to pull up over his face. Now, I made this on the Addy knitting machine. You will find that I then went crazy with the Addy trying to get things made before Christmas.
She did indeed.
So this is just a cowl that he can, it goes up to here on me and I can pull it up to over my nose, and he said he would wear something like that. So quickie Christmas present off of the Addy.
Yep, all of my Christmas presents are done now, except for the one bag that I'm sewing currently.
And do you have anything else?
No, not of finished objects.
Okay. I made another cowl out of a super bulky weight yarn, and I will wear it. The person I made it for, I do not think would wear it the way the pattern turned out. So,
oh wow, that looks on the screen the way the colors.
Oh yeah,
with the texture.
Mm-hmm. It's that's the moss stitch too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, that's a crochet moss stitch.
So I just decided I'm not going to give it to her. I absolutely know that she will not wear this, but I didn't want to just stop using it because I'll wear it. If somebody else doesn't wear it, I'll wear it. So it's just a crocheted moss stitch cowl.
Yep.
And I will just put either on the screen or down below the yarns that were used for the things that we've made and the patterns.
That was also using some of the stuff from Stash.
Yeah, that came... That yarn came from...
a mystery bag?
Yes, it was in the mystery bag from...
Was that Mary Maxim? Or
Mary Maxim. Mary Maxim mystery bags from a year ago. A little over a year ago we got that. So that's the yarn I used. And next, I have more Addy items. So I found a pattern, a way to make baby hats on our Addy King, which was sort of surprising to Jasmine. But this yarn also came from that same stash, the Mary Maxim mystery yarn that we got quite a while ago. So it talked about how you can make baby hats even on the big Addies just by changing the tension of the yarn. Now this yarn ended up being I think it was a 2-weight yarn. It doesn't say on it, but it definitely felt like a 2-weight yarn. So it worked well for the baby hat. It's very pink. It worked very well for the baby hat, and it's a nice thickness. This one I doubled the yarn because it would have made it, since I had to loosen the tension up to make a bigger hat, not just taller but bigger around. I doubled the yarn, so it's very thick. It's literally like it's very thick. It's going to keep her very warm. So it definitely feels different. This is softer and more flowy. This one's more stiff, sort of, but it's definitely going to keep her warm. And their mom says she's into matching things. So now both my granddaughters will have matching pink hats. Very vibrant pink hats.
Yeah, they are a little less vibrant in person, but they're still pretty vibrant. It's more, was it showing up? Because, like, in person, it's like a fuchsia vibrant color. Was it showing up like that on the camera?
I don't know. I feel like it's a hot pink. I feel like it looked on the camera the way it should.
Hot pink.
And then their mother, I made her 3 items on the Addy. I made her, no, this is with...
Was it Karen Simply Soft?
Yes, Karen Simply Soft. So I made, now this is not showing as vibrant as...
Which is also like a
I would like
stash.
it to. It's very pretty. There, it's darker than this. It's definitely lilac, but darker than this color that's showing on screen. So I made that hat on the Addy. I made her a headband on the Addy. It's it's pretty wide. Will keep her nice and warm. And then I also made her a cowl, a crossover cowl on the Addy with some buttons. I don't know that the buttons are spaced exactly right, but I did my best. So this like goes.
You have this.
I have it inside out, don't I? I need something with. So basically, it goes like this. So it's pretty, and this yarn's very soft. It has sort of a sheen to it. So hopefully she likes that. She got a set.
Yeah.
And
she's getting a bag from me. So.
And Jasmine's in the middle of making the bag. I did work on my cottage core blanket. I think I got maybe 4 or 5 more rows done. But I really needed to crank out some Christmas gifts. Literally crank out some Christmas gifts. Because I'm running out of time.
My glasses are giving me a headache.
Do you have anything still on your hook or needles?
Yeah. So I did want to mention that I forgot to bring this, so I don't have it to show. But I did work a little bit on my crochet moss stitch sweater that I started a few months ago. That I only really pick it up like here and there. So I put in, I don't know, like 5 to 10 rows on that, and I'm almost finished with the yoke of it. So I forgot to bring that though, so I don't have to show. But I was also working on some washcloths, which I did finish some, but I also don't have them to show. But I have this partially made one to show, which
And that's using the, is it
I don't know.
Symphonia. I'm going to say that wrong. It's a Mexican cotton. We did get this at Hobby Lobby on clearance, this year's clearance sale. And I'm actually using one of the dishcloths that she already made, and it's working really nice. It's actually very soft when it's wet.
Yeah,
interestingly enough.
It's mercerized cotton, which we don't usually use for washcloths, but
it worked
at least
well.
we never have before. So sorry, I just wanted to finish this row.
I don't have any whips to show. I just have that cottage core blanket, the Lenny Kravitz shawl, my sweater. I did work a little bit on my sweater. I don't have it right here. I did probably 10 more rows, maybe 15 on my sweater that I'm making.
Oh.
Sometimes when I've been down a little bit lately, that was just the easiest thing to pick up and not have to focus too much on something.
I keep making a habit. I'm just gonna stop. I keep making a habit of stopping in the middle of rows and walking away from projects, so pretty much everything is in the middle of a row that I have. So I mentioned this pattern before in last video. I don't remember the designer's name, but it's a pattern called The Quest, and I said I was going to use the Advent calendar yarns in this pattern. And I started it, and I believe I'm on day 5. I believe. Two, yeah, 5. Not very far into it, and I don't know how well it's showing.
It's a shawl, right?
Well, I'm doing the scarf version.
Oh, okay.
So it gives instructions for a shawl version and a scarf version, and I'm doing the scarf because I wanted to make sure I had enough leftovers for socks. So this pattern is like a adventure kind of pattern where you are given like a few different kind of classes of characters, I guess, that you can choose, and then those classes determine what number you need to roll using a dice in order to win or lose a series of battles. And on each day you roll the dice, and if you win a battle you're given one lace pattern, and if you lose the pattern you're given a different lace pattern. So I do not remember what I picked. I have it written down. But I do know that I won every round except for one.
And what happens when you win a round versus don't win a round?
I already said you're given a different lace pattern.
Okay, but one's not harder than the other or anything?
No, it's just a different lace pattern.
Okay.
So I only lost one round, and I don't remember which one it was. So, but I have 5 days done. Or 4 days done and 5 kind of done. Like a little bit done.
So is every lace pattern different so far?
Yes.
Okay, and then you have like the same, you have the lace pattern, and then you have,
there's a brioche section in between each lacework pattern, as like they call it like a travel section. But it's a cool pattern, and like it gives like a little description of each battle, and like the battle is like knitting related. So it was cool.
And it has a story that goes with it.
Yes, that's
right?
what I was
Is that what
just
you're
saying.
talking about? The knitting? It's
Yeah,
like knitting
it gives a
related,
description of the battle, and it's knitting related.
So if you win, you get one story, and if you lose, you get the other?
Well,
Like,
it tells you all within the same thing. Like it tells this like what's happening that leads up to the battle, and then it says this is what happens if you roll the losing number, and then this is what happens if you roll the winning number.
So she read one to me. It sounded pretty interesting. Pretty cool idea, actually, I think.
Yeah, somebody in the pattern section are using their people working project sections. On Ravelry is using, because I was looking at the project page to see if it was like something that I would actually, because it sounded interesting, but I was looking at the project page to see if it was something that I actually would be interested in, because the description wasn't giving like a lot of information. So I looked at the projects page to see what people wrote about it, and somebody is using their actual D&D character as like the basis of it, which I found interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, was I even showing the right side? I don't know.
But so this is 5 days worth, which we had already shown these on a previous Advent video. We had shown those yarns.
This is the right side. Is this the side that I was showing? It doesn't matter. It will get shown again. And it will look better when it's blocked, because lace work always looks better whenever it's blocked.
Yeah, I think it's going to look nice.
Yeah, that was this was what day 5 looks like rolled in a ball. I don't know how well that's showing, but that's day 5. Just gonna put that there. Then I also, this I've just been working on here and there whenever when I need something simple to work on. So like I was working on it when we were playing a game together.
Mm-hmm.
Taking turns playing the game. So I would work on this whenever it was her turn. This is my Musselburgh hat. Musselburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you pronounce it. I never can remember if it's Musselburgh or whatever the other pronunciation is that people use. And I don't remember the kind of yarn. I have no idea what yarn this is. I think it's a Hobby Lobby yarn.
It was.
Okay, well, it was a Hobby Lobby yarn. I don't remember what color and name, but
It's one of the hand dyed yarns.
Well, yeah,
so.
it is a hand dyed yarn. I don't know what that's from. I think I was like about here last time I showed it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for sure though, and I think like 3 or 4 more inches maybe before I have to decrease to finish off the hat. But that's all my whips.
So that's our whips.
Yep. Other than the bag that I'm sewing it's literally sitting on a sewing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked away from it. So I don't have that to show, but...
Next up, we just wanted to share a happy mail. So I am going to take part, I don't believe Jasmine probably will.
Well, I did
year.
I did start this year, and then I just never continued after. I don't even know what month I stopped.
In the calendar make-along for the Yarny Fiber Sisters, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. They're doing a knit version. There's 2 things you can choose for knit. Crochet version. Actually, 3 things you can choose for knit. There's knit versions and crochet versions. There's a lot of more options this year. They had chosen 2 calendars or 2 sets of calendars from Dollar Tree that a lot of people couldn't get. You don't have to use these calendars because a lot of people couldn't find them. But I did win. I couldn't find them in our Dollar Tree, and I did win a pack of the one. It's called the Landscape Calendars from I think Jeannie. I don't know if it was Yarny Fiber Sisters that day or not. And it comes with a calendar. It's still in the plastic. Sorry about that. But these are the pictures on the back. So basically each month you're crocheting with a color from a picture for that month. The other calendar that was within that package is the little landscapes calendar. And I actually sort of like the colorways to choose from on these pictures a little better. That's just to my desire. Last year's blankets, if you remember, I felt like their colors were all over the place. So I'm just going to go through and just sort of pick colors that work together ahead of time this year. You don't even have to just use one calendar. Some people are using 2 or 3, and all you have to do is show them the picture for that month and the color that you use to match it so that you can make along with them. So if you're interested into that, I always have them linked below because I'm usually doing something that's talking about them. So I will have them linked below, and you can go watch some of their videos about what they're doing for a make-along next year. So that's our happy mail. Jeannie sent that off to me, and I was really glad to get that since I don't buy calendars. I don't tend to buy calendars.
No.
Even though I have to say, I saw a Breath of the Wild one yesterday at Walmart.
And you didn't show me?
It was $10 for a calendar. I was like, yeah, no.
Well, no, I didn't say purchase, but you could have taken a picture of it and
I should
showed
have.
me.
I was in a rush, though. I was trying to take lunch and get what I needed at the same time from work.
I love Zelda. So, it's my favorite game franchise.
And I wanted to get it so bad. I was like, I can pick those colors, but I'm not paying $10 for a calendar.
Okay, well.
So next we are going to do some very short acquisitions. I'll show my Dollar Tree stuff, and then you can go over that in more detail. I just wanted to show, I went to the Dollar Tree basically to get some, I'm not going to show all of them. I got tissue paper and some Christmas bags and things because they're much cheaper there. But I just had to share some of these things that I saw, and I am going to give these stickers to my granddaughter. There's Disney's, and I don't even know how to say it,
And
Encanto and
Canto.
Conto. I finally watched this movie the other day. It was sort of
I
cute.
still haven't watched it.
It's cute. Aren't they nice?
Yeah, I got-
though? They're so
people-
pretty.
People loved that movie, but I just haven't watched it
Yeah,
yet.
I did like it. And then she dances, like Jasmine grew up dancing. And we have ballerina stickers. They're really big, too. Like, these are big stickers.
Yeah, we
They're
also
so cute.
we gave them ornaments of little ballet dancers. But
Yeah.
it was a hippo and a
Hippo ballerina and
what was the other one?
I don't know. We did the baby's first Christmas, but I don't remember what that one was.
It was
Yeah.
it was another animal.
We didn't get those at the Dollar Tree.
No.
And then I saw these and I was like, this is all me. All me, right, Jasmine?
I'm the first one who ever liked sloths
So these are 3D.
in this house.
These are 3D sloth stickers. Aren't they just adorable? They're like puffy feeling. They're not puffy. I don't want you to, they're not like.
They're just 3D. They're like they're like a 3D.
Yeah. So you got free hugs, take time to
book
chill,
thing.
take your time, lazy day. This guy just hanging out, sipping on something. They're really cute. And the last thing I did get for me, but I might give it to somebody. I don't know. It's a little wooden box. And it has a llama you can like paint or color in somehow. I don't know how well you can see it because the lines on the outside of the llama are not very dark, but yeah, it's a little wooden box with a llama on it.
Is it just like burned in?
Yeah. And then you can do whatever you want to do to finish it. So it's an unfinished box. I just had to share those because I just thought they were adorable.
So acquisitions wise of what we're going to actually show, we got the last knit crate boxes. So they closed down kind of randomly.
Yeah, we found out, was it the day after we got those?
Everybody found out, like they just like out of nowhere, they sent an email out to, and I was looking it up and some people didn't even ever receive emails.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get the email.
You didn't get the email?
I saw it on somebody else's video and I checked and I didn't get the email and then I tried to email them. But it was the day after we got this, I think.
Yes.
The package.
So
we got our knit crate boxes and if you remember correctly, this was the second month we had the sock box and then
Yes.
we always got the knit and crochet
Yeah.
box. And yeah, the day after this came out, we all got this message in some format that Knit Crate is no longer in business.
yeah, and so there were some people who haven't received their orders from like that big sale that they were having, like their massive orders. There are some people who never received them, and it doesn't look like they're ever going to receive them.
Yeah,
And
we finally got ours, thank goodness. But the one thing I did do was, if you remember from another video, I had ordered an extra one of the yellow sock yarn from last month, and it never came, and it looks like we will never get it, and we won't get a refund.
Yeah.
Because their email is saying something to do with, it almost sounds, I don't...
People are thinking that they went bankrupt.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get the yarn, and I don't think we'll ever get the money. I just am very thankful that it's a shame because they really gave good yarn, saying we got good deals through them. So I feel really bad for the people that work for the company, but
there are some people who never got paid for the patterns that they made for them.
Yeah, I feel really bad for the whole situation, but I'm just glad that we only didn't get one yarn. I mean, honestly, that we had bought all that yarn that we shared before from that big stash sale, and I am just so thankful that we got it because that was a lot of money that was put out. That
and some people did not get theirs.
Yeah, it's a sad situation. And I did email them, and it just comes back with an automatic same email that they would have sent to people originally saying, we're sorry, but they're no longer even a company.
Yeah, and they sent out that email, and then they literally removed themselves entirely from the internet. Like, their website does not exist anymore. They do not have, like, their Instagram account anymore. They don't have, like, anything.
Yeah,
It's
just done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
the yarn that we got, we'll share it. And it's sad because it's nice yarn, and you usually get a good deal if you want some extra, but
Yeah, so we got extras did not come. At least the normal extras did not come in this knit crate box. But they did give an extra hank of the yarn.
So it was actually the best extra we ever got. An actual additional hank of yarn. So instead of 2, we got 3 on the crochet and knit club. So
it's the Uru yarn Electric by Knit Crate in the color Umbra, which is 40% some sort of alpaca that I can't pronounce. Do you know how to pronounce that kind of alpaca?
Huacaya?
Maybe?
Huacaya. I don't know.
30% wool, 30% Surrey alpaca. It's a worsted weight, 150 yards, and 100 grams. Yep. And
it's very soft. And the I don't know if we have the picture that comes with it, but ours, all of them, well, there wasn't a lot of choices.
So pretty much all the colors look the same. They just kind of, they're the same.
This one has, and you probably won't be able to see it, but we'll try here. It has like purple threads running through it.
Yeah.
Purpley, more purple.
So it looks like it, at least like, it looks like it's like a 2-ply or like, or at least plied very loosely or something. Where there's one purple and there's one that's like either like a dark charcoal gray or black.
Yeah, it is very soft though. It's nice. So for this thickness of yarn, we're going to have 450 yards. So it won't make a sweater, but, and we can't get any more because they closed.
Yeah, it's just,
it's going to make something.
It's just funny because they still, like, they closed down and, like, they sent these out and then immediately closed down, but they still gave the code for savings and a QR code to download patterns that doesn't work.
Yeah. It would have been nice if they stayed open long enough. I do think, though, that other people got their package before us. We got it very late.
I was seeing people who got it, like, a week after we got ours.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. But we got those, which I like that yarn.
That was the Knit and Crochet Club one.
Yeah, and then we got 2 of the sock yarns, which is
nice that we got 2. Once again, it was the best extra ever. It's just very sad.
Which is Uru yarn Static in the color Meteorite. 80% wool, 10% nylon, 10% yak. And it's a sport weight. Which is...
it's a nice feeling.
Interesting. It's also like a kind of either purpley gray black or maybe blue gray black type of I'm saying blue or black. I mean gray or black because I think this one looks more gray than the other one. Like the other one looks more black than this one. This one looks more gray, but I can't tell if that's because it has more of the blue or purple.
So I think this will be a nice color to go with something else. Since it's a sport weight, it probably won't end up in socks, but
I'm making socks.
You're making socks out of this?
Yes.
Wow, that shocks me. So I can't wait to see her make socks out of sport weight yarn. There we go. I thought it would look nice going with pretty much any other color though. It's a nice yeah, I think it would go with most colors.
Yeah.
If you were adding it to something.
I was thinking of it could be put into like colorwork socks.
All right. So that's our Knit Crate acquisitions. I don't think we had anything else we want to share in the podcast for acquisitions. We'll do a separate one since we have several other acquisitions.
Yeah.
All right. What have we been up to? Well, we've been up to trying to take care of this little puppy. This is our Sasha, and she's popped her head in several times in our videos, but not for very long. She gets antsy. But our Sasha is very sick, and we don't know how much longer she'll be here. So, she's terminally ill at this point. And so we've been just trying to spend time with her and take care of her and get her to the vets as much as we needed. But for now, we won't be needing to take her until it's her time. So that's what we've been pretty much doing, which is why she's constantly hungry because of the medication they have her on. That's why we haven't been spending as much time doing anything except for pretty much focusing on just trying to get Christmas gifts done, because it's that time of year we need to get them done. But other than that, I think I've been watching some TV, just trying to keep my mind off things. I don't even think I've been playing games. We did play golf that one night. The night that we got told. That was the night that I think we got told.
Yeah, we spent 2 nights. We did 2 nights where we played a golf game together on the PS4 because we needed something to take our minds off of.
Yeah, and the golf game that we're playing, it's actually pretty funny. You can't even see the hole sometimes where you're trying to aim for it. It's sort of funny. Balls go all over the place.
And I'm not good at golf just in general, but I'm definitely not good at that golf.
So yeah, we played that. I don't even know. What's that show I watched recently?
Which one? You've been bouncing around.
I don't know. Yeah, I just keep... It depends on my mood. I just try and get on something that I can focus on. But I just watched something that, 2 seasons of it. The crime show. I can't think of what it is.
I don't know. I have just rewatched Jurassic Park. What are they called?
I don't know.
The Lost World. Mm-hmm. I think. Sorry, it's gonna bug me if I don't remember the third one's name. Okay. Oh, it's literally just Jurassic Park 3. So Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3. I've rewatched them. Stop doing that, phone. I've rewatched them twice, I think, each. Well, Jurassic Park, the first one, I've rewatched at least 3 times in the past. At least I think it's been the 3 times since the last, because I think I think it's been at least 2.5 or 3 weeks or something since we filmed. So probably 2, maybe 3 times for the first one, but
all during your knitting, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Because there's no way you could watch those over and over again without doing what you've been doing, because you got a lot done.
Yeah. I thought you meant just in general, and I'm I could rewatch those 100,000 times and still.
No, I meant since then find them you must have been doing it while you were knitting, because
yeah, that's really I never just sit and knit without something on, because I can't do it. I need my brain to have multiple things going on, otherwise I get bored.
Where I haven't been able to, I just get in zones where I have to watch or listen to something, watch a YouTube channel or watch TV. I just can't get myself to do any knitting or crocheting, thus the finally getting the Addy out and just cranking away because I needed to get something done. I think those hats and
I think Romina's
I think that
nice.
Turned out really nice.
Yeah, the buttons are a little wonky, but I mean, what can you do?
Yeah,
other than
I think they turned out pretty well.
Yeah,
and it's now Jasmine made a remark the other day that I've now used the Addy more than she did.
Yes,
because I've been playing around.
Yep. We did watch a few things I say we as in I will randomly walk into the room she's watching TV in, and with the plan to tell her something and then immediately walk out. But I then come into the room, she's watching whatever the heck she watches, and I get drawn into it and then spend the next hour
Asking
watching
me questions.
watching a show that I know nothing about, and then just every 2 seconds being like, who's that person? What are they doing? Oh, I bet they did this. And just like comment. And I do that out. I'm a person who talks to herself a lot. I talk out loud to television or movies, like TV shows and movies, all the time. I feel the need to comment on everything. So I just do it when I'm in the room with her, and she is a person who doesn't like listening to that, but I can't help myself.
I don't mind listening to it. It's just that my hearing isn't good. So if there's a noise over here, I can't hear what's actually happening on the TV, which means pause, pause.
Which, but I talk, and then I'm like listening at the same time, so I'm hearing things, and like what were we I forced myself to walk out of the room whenever I did this yesterday to her. I forced myself to walk out of the room, though, after like 15 or 20 minutes of sitting there watching something, because I was like, you know what, I put things on a list of things that I want to watch. I make a list. And I plan to go and watch them eventually, but I have ruined at least 20 shows for myself that I'm like, there's no point in me ever watching them now, because I've watched too much of it by just getting distracted by her watching them. And so then I go into a room and then see what's going on, and then I just get drawn in. And so I've now ruined like multiple shows for myself so that I now have no plans on watching them because I've seen too much.
I did binge, and I'm not gonna say I love this show. It's very quirky, but I think it's called Dr. Zeus Baking Show or something like that. And they have a Zeus land all built up, and they're bakers, and they have to make. They pull a Dr. Zeus book, and then they give them a challenge to make some kind of big monstrosity, usually something to do with Dr. Zeus, like characters out of cake.
I didn't like that.
Or goodies, but it's not something I wanted to watch every minute, so I found myself fast forwarding to get to the good parts, which means their final outcome sometimes. There were some good parts in between, but what I found interesting about the show is they would give them surprise ingredients that they had to use, and one time they gave them one set of people had to use, was it garlic and beets and some kind of good sweet thing, that bakery item, and then near the end somebody had to do, what did I say, mustard and
I don't know, I forgot.
It was something else that was like, what the heck, in a sweet bakery goodie. So
yeah, I don't know.
It was interesting, but
I didn't like it. Although I don't really like Dr. Seuss books.
Yeah, it got a little.
Or anything,
I think that's what made it almost too quirky, because I don't know. In the first probably 15 minutes of the show, they must have said, Zeus, Zeus Land or Zeus.
They literally used the name in every single sentence that they said, essentially, yeah. And I was like, this is too much for me.
Which led me to do a lot of fast forwarding, but it was interesting, the creations they
called them, instead of sous chefs.
They were sous chefs instead of sous chefs. Yes.
And they just kept saying it, and I'm like, I don't like Dr. Seuss. I don't love. Like, she really likes, like, cooking shows. I like some cooking shows, but
I don't like all cooking shows.
You have watched way more than me, because
the contestants were pretty cool, though. They all had good personalities, I thought. It was really
interesting. I don't know. I watched, like, half of one episode before I was like, yeah, I'm not watching this, and then I walked out. But I forced myself to walk out of the room whenever she was watching, crime show thing, because I was like, I'm not ruining this one for myself, so I forced myself to walk out of the room.
All right, so we've been talking a lot about what we've been doing, even though honestly we haven't been doing very much other than knitting, crocheting, taking care of our dog. But so that was a long discussion over not much. But goals for next time, I have to finish, or I don't know what I'm going to do. I still have at least one more Christmas present to make. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I got to get my head on straight somehow and get back in the zone, because hybrid knit along's coming up very, very quickly.
Which is a
so
goal.
we need to yarn the roll.
I need to wind the yarn for us.
Yes, we need to wind the yarn.
I say me because I normally am the one who does it for us.
And get our head in the zone for that. Get my head in the zone. I don't know. Jasmine's head may be in the zone, but I just need to get my head in gear and start to work. So I do want to continue working on my cottage core blanket. I was hoping to have that finished to just give to the person that I don't have a gift for yet, and which is my son and his girlfriend, as sort of a together gift, but it is not done, and it is not getting done that quickly.
No.
So I do want to get that finished. I've been working on it for probably about 2/3 of the year, I think, is about when I started it. But I do want to get that finished, so it's just off my hook, and that won't be my next podcast, but it's like the next thing I want to absolutely get finished that's been a whip for a while. And I think we need to think about our goals for next year. So I'd say within the next week, I need to just sit down and actually think about my next goals for next year, of what I want to do and get done. Because a lot of this year I found myself doing make-alongs and things that took so much time that I don't think I did as much that I wanted to for myself that I would have chosen for myself, like a pattern that I found for myself. For instance, this yarn, which is
You started
which I did
mittens.
start playing. I did start playing with it.
That's probably where the other cord went that we didn't know where it went.
My Noro yarn. I want to figure out what I'm going to make. I think I had like 2 or 3 things in my head. I did start practicing knitting with it and see what it looked like. I did want to do a video still showing crochet and
Like swatches?
knitting. Yeah, swatches and what it looks like. So, like, I want to make something out of this yarn. I waited so long to get it. I got it. And I don't want to put things like that on the back burner. I do know that. So one of my goals is to literally sit down, if I can get my head straight, and focused, and think about what I really want to do for the next year beyond what I find motivating and energizing watching people's YouTube videos, and then I get myself caught up in doing what they're suggesting and not do what I might actually want to do. So I want to make sure I balance that out. I don't know why my light's flashing right now. We're having a storm outside, so if you see the light going on and off, my light is flickering for some reason all of a sudden. But I want to balance that out. I do want to do, like, I want to do that make-along. And I think the reason I want to do that make-along with Yarny Fiber Sisters this year is they are giving several choices. If you want to do what they're doing, you can do anything. But I think V's making one kind of blanket. If I remember this correctly, V's making a certain kind of crochet blanket. Jeannie's making a crochet blanket you can do. And I don't know if Linda was making a blanket for that or not. I'm confused.
I think she said she was
But
making.
then,
Wasn't she making a blanket and she was like picking out, like she was using? Was that her? That
Yeah, and I
said
can't
they were
remember if
using
that-
multiple calendars,
yeah,
or was that somebody else?
Yeah, I feel like she's also has something designed for it, but I'm not clear right now on that one.
I might be
And then
getting
you
people mixed
have,
up.
oh Lord, I forgot her name. How did I forget her name? That's the other thing I never showed, was that journal. From the fairy, My Fairy Treasures.
The one that does like paper.
Why can't I think of her name? I am so sorry.
Paper things?
If you're watching this, I'm so sorry. But she has a boho cardigan and a...
Did you want to show the notebook?
If it's right there, sure.
It is right there.
A boho cardigan and a blanket, I believe. So, like, they're offering several choices if you want to make something they're making for that calendar project. So, I can choose. If I want to make something smaller or something that takes longer or whatever, I can choose. So, that's easy. I just don't want to get caught up in things that maybe I wouldn't have chosen. I'm just doing it just to go along with it. But anyhow, I did get this. I'm not going to even attempt to put this back in the other part of this video. But this was Happy Mail too. I had won this from My Fairy Treasures. Can't remember if it was during her art party or her crochet and knit night, but she makes so this is a journal, and it's just, you can get these journals anywhere, like this kind of, they're called composition books, but she makes this beautiful artwork and then she prints it. So she I don't know if she did this with watercolor. I didn't see her do this one, watercolor or paint, or she uses all kinds of things, and she makes these up and then she prints them, and it's very shiny, so it's going to show a glare, but she I don't know if she drew this or if it was like she cut out things and put them together and then colored them. I feel like that might be it. But she's done this artwork, and it's just beautiful. So she makes these. She has her own Etsy shop that she has different prints that she can put. She has like glued it to the front of this journal so that that's the front of it. It's very pretty. I know some other people at one that literally took the picture off and is like putting it in frames and things. So it's beautiful artwork. She does beautiful artwork. If you want to check her channel out, I'll link her below too. And I don't know why her name is not coming to me. That's just terrible. Angie. Her name is Angie. Angie at My Fairy Treasures. What did you say?
I was going to say it's written
oh
right
my
there.
Lord. She has the picture signed.
Yeah.
Angie at My Fairy Treasures. So I will link her below if you're interested in
I was
checking
trying
her
to
out.
point at it the whole time, but I didn't want to interrupt you by saying it.
I feel better that I figured it out on my own. It just took a while. Anyhow, so basically I just want to, I sort of want to get my head on straight and make some goals, but I do want to continue working on the cottagecore blanket, even if it takes me forever to get through this house section, because the rest will fly by once I get the house section done. But I want to work steadily on that. I don't want to like put it off for a month and not work on it, I guess is my thing. And then get prepared for this shawl that we're making. What's your goals?
Well,
she has some goals.
my goals are, well, number one, to finish sewing this bag and take a picture of it, because we are not going to film another podcast before it's given, so I need to remember to take a picture of it this time. Mm-hmm. What is this storm doing? A goal also, wind the yarn for Stephen West's Hybrid Knit Along. I don't know why my brain just forgot what it was called. And also, I really need to get back to working on those sweaters that I said they were going to get later. Which, because they know that they're going to get them later, I'm not going to force myself to rush them and hurt my hands, because that's what I was doing. What I kept I was injuring myself by knitting them. So I'm going to take my time on them, but I do need to get them finished and to give them. And then I also want to start the dad sweater by, I don't remember. We will link it below. I can't remember the designer's name right now. Don't know why my brain's not working.
It is a pretty nice little sweater.
Yeah.
Looks nice. Looks comfy.
Which I plan on using stash yarn for it. Assuming I get gauge. That's only going to happen if I get gauge with the stuff from the stash. And then I also want to continue actually, start working on the Quest scarf again, because I had to stop it whenever I was like, I need to prioritize all of the Christmas gifts and only work on them until they're all finished. Mm-hmm. So I need to start working on that again.
All right, so we hope that you're having a wonderful holiday season and that you've enjoyed our video. I think we got a little wordy at times, but It's been a little while since we've been on here having a podcast, so we are really happy to be able to share what we have been doing with you, and we hope that at some points we inspire you. I think that pillow, for instance, is lovely, and I can't remember what book that even came out of, but
Oh, we can put it in the description. Yeah. It's like one of the, who sent that to us?
Is that the one that I won from? Was it the one from Jeannie or the one from
I don't know.
I think we've both just lost words today.
I don't know who it was.
The sloth. Oh Lord.
I don't know. It's like it's an old. I don't know what time. I think it was maybe 90s. Was it 90s? I can't even remember what time, like what year it like was from. But it's an old like knitting book for like house decor type stuff. So it had like a lot of afghans and pillows, and there were some like little like fake fruit things and stuff in them.
Yeah, it was definitely from a Happy Mail though, that book that we got.
Yeah,
and it was older. It was like a 1970s or something book. But
was it that old?
Yeah,
I couldn't remember.
I remember looking at it.
It looks old.
But I think that pillow is beautiful though, and I think my mother's gonna love it.
Yeah, there were definitely some patterns in that I was like, I will never ever make that, because that is like you can. There are some patterns in it that like are definitely what I would call dated. Like they are of that time, and I do not want them. But there were were also a lot of very like pretty patterns that I like this pillow, which the Afghan for that was also really pretty, but I'm like, I was losing the will to make the pillow by the time I got four of the decorative panes done. And so, which is why I made the back garter stitch. The back was also supposed to be the like counterpane design, but I was like, no, no.
I think it turned out really nice, and I think she's gonna love it. Everybody, have a wonderful holiday season if we don't see you again before, and stay warm, take care. I don't know if you're having any storms where you are. We're on the eastern side of the United States, and we're having snow and ice and rain and all kinds of mess out there right now, and it's getting, I think it said it could get over like 25 below zero wind chill factor tonight. So just stay warm if you're cold, and stay cool if you're warm, because I know there are some people that are like in South Africa or Britain. Britain's probably chilly now though, but South Africa's warm. They might be watching. So stay warm if you're cold, and stay cool, not cold. Just stay cool if you're warm right now. Everybody have a happy holiday season if we don't see you again, and take care. Bye.
Bye.